Let's break the ice. I will right away take you to a very defining moment from my life. Picture this. I was lying there comfortably in a bed. People around me were doing their job. Radio playing old retro songs in the background, faintly. In that half-drowsy, half-awake state with my eyes closed, I am happily grooving to the music. A calm voice approaches my ear and says, "Ma'am, can you please stop dancing? We're trying to operate your knee." Yes, this is a scene right out of my operation theatre. Even as I lay there, administered with a dose of local anesthesia, doctors shoving pins and needles into my knee, making a new ligament, the dancer in me could not resist shimmying to "Roop Tera Mastana." See, this might have been a very defining moment for me, but for my doctors, it was just another day at the operation theatre. And rightly so, because this is a surgery that is unfortunately far too common in the world of high-intensity sports and dance. But it is an injury, nightmarish injury nonetheless, which has notoriously buried one too many dreams. A jump gone wrong had cost me 2 years of partial recovery, an unstable knee, and an even more unstable career. From this robust, thriving, chaotic life filled with shows, rehearsals, shoot, I was now encumbered by doctors' advice. I was now in a forced arranged marriage with my bed. But anyone who's ever been injured in this room will agree that the real pain is not the physical agony. It is the pain of lost time. In these moments, time feels like water running through a sieve, mercilessly passing you by, while the world around you is marching ahead, leaving you behind. But the good thing is that I had a lot of time to think about what I'm doing in my life. But the bad thing was that I had a lot of time to think about what am I doing with my life. And I'm sure you will agree that overthinking in your 20s can be an extreme sport. Because one moment you're just overthinking. Then, because you're aware, you're overthinking about overthinking. In this mess, you forget what you were overthinking about, and now you're overthinking about what you're not overthinking enough about. But okay, like a true escapist, I distracted myself, and quite productively, I must say. Because I was forbidden from dancing, I narrowed my attention to the world of expressions. Storytelling through expressions, or Abhinaya, as we dancers know it, is an age-old art form that is cherished, nurtured, and taught to classical dancers for over 3,000 years now. It is a full, complete language by itself. It is a language with which you can say anything without ever having to talk. So basically, in other words, an introvert's dream. But once, I went to watch a movie. As I entered the theatre, there was this lovely security lady. She extended her hand. And I, touched by this subtle social gesture, also extended my hand and enthusiastically shook her hand. To which she said, "Ma'am, I just wanted to look at your bag." Completely missed that social cue. Why am I telling you this? Because I feel in moments like these that we realize we are rarely ever present in the moment. Rarely. So understanding Abhinaya gave me a very big revelation. It completely changed how I look at human interaction. Because you see, we live in a world that's constantly rambling. We live in a world that has enough talkers but not enough listeners. We live in a world where we randomly shake hands with the security. But don't worry. The fact that I am rambling right now, the irony is not lost on me. So I am going to show it to you. Inspired and simultaneously ruined by the charm of Shah Rukh Khan, here's the story of another girl who just wants a man to look at her. Just once. She is trying to have her palat moment, if you will. Let us see what she does and if she's successful in doing that. But mind you, there's a twist. The excerpt of the song that I'm using now is in Tamil. Now you'll say, Sudhana, we don't understand Tamil. But that is the beauty of it. Because our heroine is going to be speaking the language of Abhinaya. Let us see if you can understand her.
Teruvil varano, Teruvil varano, Teruvil varano, Teruvil varano, என்னை சற்றே திரும்பி பாரானோ, தெருவில் வாரானோ, 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 என்னை சற்றே திரும்பி பாரானோ, நடராசன் தெருவில் வாரானோ.
You have now seen the dance. Now allow me to give you a sneak peek behind the creative process. And trust me, it might reveal something very interesting about you. So when we're making an expressional piece, we look at it in two easy, simple segments. Okay? The first one is called Padartham. Padartham, which means the literal, which means that I exactly show what is being said in the lyrics. Can you please come? Can you please go and close the door? What are you doing here? Padartham. Simple. In the context of our heroine, the Padartham was, she's saying, will he cross my street today? Will he just once look at me? Padartham. Easy? The second segment is called a Sanchari. Now this is the fun part, because it is all the stories you weave to communicate a point. It is all the myriad ways in which I convey the Padartham without enacting it literally. So for our heroine, it is all the ways in which she told us that she wants the man to look at her without telling us that she wants the man to look at her, which means all the dressing up extra, extended body language, her failed sensuous walk, or pretending to be a damsel in distress to catch his attention. Right? Now, why am I sharing this again? It is because not just me, even you are doing Padartham and Sancharis all the time. Even though you're not saying any Padartham right now, I can read all your Sancharis. No worry, I will not disclose it. I'll keep mum. But this is how I dealt with in my quest of making my Abhinaya better. I went out and I observed real life Sancharis of people like you and me. So what I would do is I'd go to cafes, I'd sit in metros quietly and observe people. And I know that sounds stalkerish, but don't worry, I didn't follow anybody back to their home. But understanding this distinction between Padartham and Sanchari speaks to the core of human behavior. Whenever you're having a conversation with anyone, we are all conditioned to focus on the words being said, their Padartham. But if you pause to reflect, you will be able to hear the unspoken stories that their words neatly conceal. Their true, authentic stories, their Sancharis. So you will be able to know that the slight twinkle in their eye is because someone they really like walked into the room. Or the lower glances is because they really don't want to talk to you. Or the slight restraint in their voices telling us that they are in fact not okay. Now, don't worry, I'm not asking you to become the next Sherlock Holmes with the magnifying glass trying to deduce what this person is saying. But what I'm trying to tell you is that there is magic to be unlocked if you're able to read the subtext of human behavior. A, because nobody will ever be able to fool you. But B, and most importantly, because you will become more of an empath, a better friend and a better human being, and God knows that we need more of you today. And when I say that reading Sancharis of people can be life-changing, I really mean it, and here's why. I am a Bharatanatyam teacher and I've been teaching for 7-8 years now. It's not uncommon to come across children who initially despise being in that class. And trust me, children these days are extremely verbal. They will tell you that they hate being here. So one of these kids, a first grader, once told me that she doesn't like coming to class because the fabric of the dupatta doesn't look good on her skin. You're in first grade, how do you even know what fabric looks good on your skin? But here I had another first grader who claimed to hate dancing. Hated it. She would tell me every class. But what was peculiar about this child was that she would always come wearing a face mask, even when we were out of COVID. And on the days she forgot her mask, she would ensconce herself in a hoodie all the time. To me, it looked like she's trying to hide. Now, my previous teacher instinct would have prompted me to say that, hey, you know what? You should pursue what you truly like, and if dance isn't that, it's okay. But since I had become a keen observer of Sancharis, I knew there was more to her story. Her words were just a ruse. So I patiently tried to make her feel comfortable. And one day, random day, she came up to me. She said, "Ma'am, I don't like dancing because I'm dark-skinned. Even if I put makeup on, nobody would want to look at me." My heart broke. Here was a 7-year-old child who had already internalized these ideas of color hierarchy. She was fed with social inferiority and these skewed beauty standards. So her Sancharis told me that as a teacher, I don't have to make her love dancing. I have to make her love herself. Now I know I stand among so many of you who are going to go on, have a startup of their own, build your own business, hire your own team. You will be building relationships every day. In those moments, I truly hope that you become those special kind of leaders who know how to read Sancharis, who know how to listen to what they're not saying. This girl who hated dancing, even 4 years later, she continues to come for classes. On Teacher's Day, she gifted me a very special card. It read, I like Sudhana ma'am because she's a good girl. Now, this girl knew the real Sanchari behind her Padartham. And now, so do you. Thank you.